Wheel is part of car. Door is part of house. Leaf is part of tree. Finger is part of hand. Petal is part of flower. Wing is part of bird. Page is part of book. Button is part of shirt. Handle is part of cup. Leg is part of chair. Tail is part of dog. Roof is part of house. Trunk is part of tree. Nose is part of face. Beak is part of bird. Slice is part of pizza. Screen is part of phone. Hand is part of clock. Key is part of keyboard. Pedal is part of bike. Branch is part of tree. Window is part of house. Ear is part of head. Seed is part of fruit. Stem is part of flower. Sleeve is part of shirt. Lace is part of shoe. Horn is part of car. Fin is part of fish. Propeller is part of plane. Drawer is part of desk. Pocket is part of pants. Collar is part of shirt. Lid is part of pot. Spout is part of teapot. Door is part of car. Antenna is part of TV. Chimney is part of house. Sail is part of boat. Anchor is part of ship.